In this example, we're going to look at the graphic overrides. The same principle can be applied to pipes, whether they're being used for HVAC, sprinklers, or domestic hot and cold water. In this exercise, we're going to use one of the files located in your Chapter 9 folder. From the Startup screen, click on Open, browse to your Chapter 9 folder, and open Chapter 9 Graphic Overrides. Scroll down in the project browser and make sure that you have the floor plan open Level 2 HVAC plan, located under HVAC Design. This plan we're going to duplicate, and we're going to duplicate it for documentation purposes. So right-click on the view, click on Duplicate, and Duplicate with Detailing. This creates a copy of the view that's identical to the initial view. Right-click on this and click on Rename. We're going to call this view Level 2 HVAC Plan Documentation. Also, as I don't want it to stay in this design folder, I'm going to give the view a new sub-discipline. We already have HVAC Design. Let's create one for Documentation. I now have a floor plan for Level 2 HVAC Documentation. What's all this got to do with graphic overrides then? Well, I want to have two views here, so I can show you what's happening between the two of them. From the View tab, click on Tile Windows. So we have the documentation view on the left and the design view on the right. What I want to do now is examine how these colours have been created. And if I scroll down further in the project browser, through Families, down to Duct Systems. If I expand this, you can see that we have exhaust, return and supply air systems. If I right-click on one of these, we can look at the type properties and the graphic overrides applied to the system. So here we have supply air has been coloured blue. Additionally, and new to Revit MEP 2013, is a brand new rise and drop symbol, especially for ductwork. We'll take a look at this later. From the HVAC Design plan, let's look at the visibility graphics. Scrolling down in here, we can see that we've got ducts, but duct systems don't actually make it into the visibility graphic override box. If we look at filters, we can see that we've got supply, return and exhaust, and they're all visible. So the colour for the systems is driven from the system. Let's click on Cancel and come back to my documentation plan. So under the documentation plan, for printing, I'd like my ducts to all be in black. Let's go back to visibility graphics. Under here, I can click on filters, and now for my mechanical supply, return and exhaust ducts, I can override the colour for each duct system to be black. Click on OK and OK, and I now have my printing view. All the ducts, their accessories and their fittings have had their graphics overridden from my documentation view.